again and again and again and again, Mr. Woods.
That's when the discussion suddenly turned toward 50 Cent.
(8/14/23), assault of a family member. 6/9/24, violation of protective order, assault bodily injury. Another assault bodily injury.
Some online users even began revisiting 50 Cent's music in person.
February of 24, assault of a pregnant person, for which you're on deferred now, and now you've picked up another. You now stand charged with criminal mischief. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cases. It's all in a matter of months. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Mr. Woods.
Yes, Judge. The defendant was traveling with the complainant to go see the defendant's child with his child's mother. The defendant continued attempting to be sexual with his child's mother, and the complainant engaged in a verbal altercation with the defendant. Upon arriving home, the defendant exited the vehicle, and the complainant drove to a store close to her home. The defendant took the complainant's iPad and walked and followed the complainant to the Kroger. The defendant then jumped on the complainant's hood as she was driving and struck her window multiple times with a rock, causing damage to her vehicle. Estimated damage was $300.
Who is the complaining witness in this case?
The complaining witness in this case is a Jacqueline Perry, who is the same complainant in the assault of a pregnant person.
Tell me he's not supposed to have contact with this complaining witness? Guys,
Morgan.
Mr. Woods is on deferred for assault of a pregnant person. Was he, as a condition of that, not to?
No threatening, harassing, or abusive contact with the complainant in that case.
Mr. Woods, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm now sending you for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. If you fail to go take the test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to revoke your bond, and I'm going to make it so high.
One of the most discussed pieces of circumstantial speculation centers around Gene Deal and his former girlfriend.
On one ankle, I'm going to put a GPS monitor because I'm ordering you not to have contact with this person, and you've shown repeatedly that you are incapable of following bond conditions. And I'm going to put a 1,000-foot radius that you're not to have any contact with this person. You're not to have any weapons. You're not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. And I'm going to test you repeatedly so I know that you're not using, but I'm sending you now for a drug test. Like I said, you failed the test, and if you fail to come back, things will not go well. Do you understand, Mr. Woods? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Take a seat for me. Mr. Burroughs, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 180 days in jail. It is probated for 12 months. As part of the probation, you will do a DWI education class, 2 victim impact panels. You must do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. If they assess other conditions, you must fulfill those conditions. No breath test refusal, meaning if you were pulled over in a car and an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must submit. If you don't, you're in violation of this probation. Guardian interlock, 30 hours of community service, a $100 donation, one time to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, no drugs, no alcohol. Random analysis. Is this how you understand the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, sir.
Does he have any prior DWIs?
He had one that was dismissed a long time ago, and it was no probable cause based on no alcohol consumption out of Galveston. So
Yes,
we tried to
Judge.
get a pizza at the pool, but it's just because of that. He had a theft when he was a kid, like 17 years old, but it was
Just one.
yeah, but he was kind of he was 17 and he had an employee theft, and then he picked up another theft, but they didn't revoke his probation. It was like $100 from the cash register, but that was a long time ago. He's a volleyball coach. He's a good citizen. He's a good guy. He's turned his life around. His parents are here to support him. He made a mistake this night drinking. He understands that. He's taking responsibility for that. He's doing whatever he can to move forward. And he's in a financial hardship now. That's why we're asking for a reduction in the DPS fine. I've worked with him on payment plans and stuff. I'm going to waive all my fees so he can succeed.
The question is, at what point do you get it, Mr. Burrows? You know, you've already had one DWI dismissed. You now have another one. While you're on bond, you have bond violations. So for you to come here and tell me that you've changed and that you're a different person and this and that, goes in one ear, goes out the other. I don't believe it. Actions speak louder than words. And you can lie to me, but you can't lie to yourself. You know, and your record, you know, life is hard enough being a young black man in America today, right? And the more convictions you get, all you're doing is you're making life more difficult. With these theft cases that you get, with these DWI, I mean, it's one of the worst cases that you can possibly pick up, because these theft cases brands you as a thief, and people are scared to hire potential thieves, because I'm always going to be thinking, well, if I hire him to work for me, I know that he's got not only one prior theft, but 2 prior thefts. Is he going to steal from me? Same thing now happens with the DWI. You've had one dismissed, now you have another one. What's it going to take for you to get that we mean business, that public safety is our primary concern? And when you don't get it, and when you continue to pick up criminal cases, there are really grave consequences. You need to understand that from now on, after today, you're looking at a minimum of 30 days in jail. No, hold on a second. 90 days in jail, at a minimum, for any new cases you pick up here in county court. Don't matter how small it is, from now on, you are looking at a minimum of 90 days in jail. Not only that, you pick up another theft, you could be potentially charged with a felony, because they use those as a stepladder to enhance punishment. And when you don't get it, they combine all those to get up to felony. You could be potentially facing that. You pick up another theft case. At some point, you gotta get it. And I hope this is the same. And usually, in my experience, being here, at times when we go too easy on people, they still don't get it. You're skirting out of here today. You're getting probation. You're getting no jail time. You're not getting your license suspended. Now they want me to waive. Michael wants me to waive the fines and fees. I mean,
I think he has his family.
why would we reward? You know,
I want him to succeed, and that's what I think the problem is, that if he doesn't have the money to succeed, it's going to be very hard. He's going to try everything in his power to succeed financially. I just think that's going to be a burden on him. I took it upon myself to forego my fees, and I'm doing whatever I can to help him.
and that's great.
Yeah, I understand
Michael,
that. I just don't think he can't afford it. He physically can't afford it. We're putting the burden on his parents who are here to support him. They're in the back. They're here. He's going to be staying with them to produce whatever fees he has to try to, get back on his feet. But he's trying, Judge. He is. He's been in constant contact with me. We talk every other day. He's literally trying. He really is. And I think if you give him a shot here, he's going to do whatever he can to prove it wrong.
I don't have to accept this agreement. I could say, no, I don't want this. Well, I'm jail time. I will accept your agreement, Mr. Burrows, but I want you to understand that if you come back here and try to tell me that you test positive again because of makeup, that kind of excuse is such that every single person who puts makeup on gets intoxicated? Really? So if you come up here while you're on this probation and you test positive for alcohol, it tells me that you have a problem, and I'm giving you fair warning now that you will go into a rehab facility. I can amend the conditions to put you in a lockdown rehab facility for, at a minimum, 9 months to 10 months if you respond well to treatment. I will accept it, but I'm telling you now, you test positive for whatever it may be, get ready. And I hope that and I want to read a repeat offender to the education class. I don't want just a garden variety. Your record speaks and tells everyone in the whole world about you. So if you ever get pulled over again, you need to understand that you will probably get harassed. So if I were you, I wouldn't ever, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, a glass of wine, I wouldn't get into a car because you're begging for trouble. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, this will go on your record, Mr. Burroughs. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. From now on, like I said, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. Any new cases that you pick up, the problem is you must do your classes on time. You pick up a new case. You test positive for alcohol.
It's going to be very hard. It's going to try everything that's
I will issue a warrant for arrest. I'm going to put you in jail. I'm going to bring you back out.
I took
and
it upon
we're
myself
going to talk about if you
forego my
violated,
fees,
if you did,
and
how,
I'm doing whatever
and what
I
the
can.
appropriate
That's great. Yeah, I understand that.
remedy will be. And it could be 180 days in jail.
I just don't think he
Understand?
can't afford it.
Yes, sir.
He can't afford it.
How do you plead to the offense of driving while
You're here
intoxicated?
to support him. They're in the back. They're
You
here.
need to understand that
He's going to be staying with them.
one of the things that they're ordering you to do is a
he has to try
TRS.
to
This is an
get
evaluation.
back on his feet.
They may assess
But he's done.
intensive outpatient treatment. But he's done the TRS.
He's not patient.
Recommended IOP.
He's trying.
Okay,
If he
I
is,
think
he's
that's a
been
good
in
thing.
constant
Right.
contact with me. We talk.
Sure thing.
Once again, I do appreciate,
Intensive outpatient
the second
He's
chance.
done the TRS.
When I went to jail, I went to jail for a year.
trying.
And
Okay,
and that's when I was in high school. It's been 18 years ago. I've been a completely different person. I coach volleyball. I do a lot. I do give back a lot, and I do understand that this record will carry on without my life. I've already realized that, and I've been doing things a lot different. You know, I did make a mistake. I did end up, drinking and driving. The first case I do admit. After that, I haven't told you a lot at all. It was more than just makeup. It was pain, body pain, full transformation. I do a lot on Halloween. I did not know that was getting to my ankle, and I haven't lied to you about that. Once again, I do appreciate the second chance. I'm a lot different than what my record says I am. That happened when I was in high school. 17, 18, I'm 35 now. I haven't been in trouble since. I know you did see DWI on there. I was leaving work, didn't have sip alcohol. Asked to do a breathalyzer. Wouldn't let you do a breathalyzer. That was, even from chemo, they have an ongoing case. I didn't alcohol. That's the reason why I got thrown out. I didn't have a sip of alcohol. I asked him to do a breathalyzer. I was being harassed. But that's not like the first case. So I was being harassed for a whole month. 14 times I got pulled over. The last time before that one, I told him, I said, there's a reason why you're pulling me over. And that's what I told him. The next time I got pulled over, I got pulled over on 146 and he gave me a chance to even do a breathalyzer. And that's the reason why I got thrown out. It's because I asked to do a breathalyzer, they didn't take my blood, didn't take me. They wanted to take me to jail because of some beat that's happening between the chemo bars and chemo. I didn't changed my life a lot. I didn't lie to you last time I was here. I wasn't aware that would set off my scram device. I had super glue that I was putting fingernail polish remover. Last time I didn't speak, so I was on my anxiety medication, so I didn't really speak, but I can speak a lot better today because I haven't taken my life serious. But that's what I'm happening. Once again, I do appreciate you for giving me a second chance, but just want to let you know I didn't lie to you last time I was here.
If you think that people and officers messed with you last time, what do you think is going to happen now?
I do understand that, sir.
You know? And the only thing that I'm trying to impart to you is don't give them the ability to do that by smelling like alcohol, smelling like weed. Because when you get into a car, the faintest, funkiest smell of whatever, it's a great excuse for them to take you down.
Yes, sir. This time I did drink. I did not admit
Look,
that.
you don't
Yes,
have
sir.
to say anything now, but
Yes, sir.
I want you to appreciate the gravity of it, because when officers, like me, I don't know you. I have but a mere 10 seconds, 20 seconds, maybe 5 minutes to get to know who Sydney Burroughs is. One of the things I use to find out who you are is your. So when an officer pulls you over, they're going to see DWI, theft. And I don't know if there's other things as well, because I don't get access to everything. But when they see that, they're going to be, oh. If they go up to your car, that people that walks like a duck, talks like a duck, they have a DWI 1, but they have a DWI 2nd, you know, and now they come up to you and they smell something. Don't give them ammunition to fire a gun at you. Life is hard enough as it is. Anyway, look, done preaching. So, just because when you get comply with these things, the faintest and we will be happy. It's Michael, and I'm going to tell you now that I will waive your court costs and your supervisory fees. But if you come back with another DWI, I want you to understand that the next time you don't have to say anything now, you're facing around $6,000 at a minimum of supervisory fees, not to mention court costs of another $500-600. When also on a second DWI, you're facing around $7,000.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Get the message. I have but a mere 10 seconds, 20 seconds, maybe 5 minutes to get to know. So, what do you have now? Sid, do you have the scram? It's Sydney Burroughs. Yeah, and I mean, I'm okay with that. First, you got to get the interlock. Once you get the interlock, we'll take the scram off. I've been paying for your device now. While you're on probation, I can't pay for it. You're going to have to pay for that yourself. But I'm going to, you know, they're going to see cut his fines and fees, please. I'm literally taking all the money away. Money is never the issue. It's doing what you're supposed to do in the time you're supposed to do. If they go up to I really wish you the best of luck, Mr. Burroughs. We want the best for you. And we're just trying to make you get a clue. That's all. Just don't be a danger. Now they come up to all we want.
Yes, sir, I understand.
All right. Good luck. Is it Fernanda Solis Martinez? Ma'am, you're charged with criminal mischief. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed.
Yes, Judge. On November 19, 2024, the officer was dispatched to County, Texas, in response to a family disturbance. Upon arrival, the officer met with the complainant, who stated that he and the defendant, his sister, got into a verbal argument that turned physical. Both parties admitted to striking one another, and the defendant walked over to the complainant's computer and began hitting the computer.
I want you not to mention court costs of another $500-600. When also on a second DWI, you're facing around $7,000.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Get the message. I have but a mere 10 seconds, 20 seconds, maybe 5 minutes to get to know. So, what do you have now? Sid, do you have the scram? It's Sydney Burroughs. Yeah, and I mean, I'm okay with that. First, you got to get the interlock. Once you get the interlock, we'll take the scram off. I've been paying for your device now. While you're on probation, I can't pay for it. You're going to have to pay for that yourself. I'm going to, you know, they're going to see cut his fine.